Good evening or night. Good pre-midnight. We are. Oh wait, I gotta line edit this. Third and third of the third, the third of this three-part. God, sorry. I should have done this before I pressed start recording. But here we are. Responding. Funding comes from the Department of the New York City, the New York City Department of Health and Mental Hygiene. Of Health and Mental Hygiene. New York State Office of Mental Health, but not Mental Hygiene, because fuck them. They can have crinkly, crispy hair for all we know, for all we care. Health and Human Services. Got it? No robos allowed. It's our services. And Applebee's. You're not nuts. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Okay. That's a little joke you just saw before we got to see it. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good. Hold on. The season and the rising. And the previous cohesion. And the pressure and the essential and the cohesion. Follow my own thing about adverbs. Culture, our moments of human history are movements. For every technological innovation, there's another innovation that yields a more adverse outcome. Press this button and we will plug you down as an initiate of a new experiment in human society. You'll experience the life cycle of one of these cults in the hopes that we can inoculate you to the temptations of togetherness these groups provide. Here is a safety precaution we are providing you. As a safety precaution, we are providing you with a safe gesture that you can perform at any time, in any place, and doing so will immediately halt the scenario so that you can return to your more familiar world. Here is your safe gesture. Please memorize it, but you will also have an accompanying safety card depicting the following gesture. Okay, there we go. Done and done. We are ready. Begin.
This is the Random Cult Generator, the third of this three-part series on the catalyst of human movement. Funding comes from the New York City Department of Health and Mental Hygiene, the New York State Office of Mental Health, and the United States Department of Health and Human Services. And Applebee's. You're not nuts. You're at Applebee's. Some say you can't spell culture without cult. Well, yes, but it's also complicated like the honeymoon logistics of a mass wedding. Culture ebbs and flows with the seasons and the rising and passing of leaders and of the ordeals of war and nature, not to mention the uphill battles of the fight for human dignity. And the undercurrent of it all is the wonders of human connection, belonging, and the cohesion of people, overcoming obstacles as one people. Cults, according to our definition of them, are movements in human history that exploit those moments in human history. For every technological innovation, there's another innovation that yields a more adverse outcome. This is the darker side of togetherness. Press this button and we will plunk you down as an initiate of a new experiment in human society. You will experience the life cycle of one of these cults in the hopes that we can inoculate you to the temptations of togetherness these groups provide. As a safety precaution, we are providing you with a safe gesture that you can perform at any time and any place, and doing so will immediately halt the scenario so that you can return to your more familiar world. Here is your safe gesture. Please memorize it, but you will also have an accompanying safety card depicting the following gesture. Backslash. Slash. Good luck out there in the ever-changing society that is the evolution of human beings and their technology. Remember, cults, no more Applebee's manga. You press the button, and the generator spits you out on a dusty sandlot. Some sheep chant about truth, and a voice shrieks through a megaphone. Just stand up. You look down and see a pool of blood near your feet. You faint and wake up in a school bus headed to a small community in the backwoods, brainwashed and subservient to a figure named Father who is determined to change the world, one heart at a time. You are afraid to leave and face the hinterlands of unknown. This may be what society needs you to do to change the world or keep surviving the reality of a bigger, nastier one outside. Time for you to decide as your next scene pops up. Escape or cling to comfort. You press the button. Now the action focuses on your mind as you arrive in a bizarre laboratory where you see tubes, bodies, and tanks full of various colors and sights, oozing and unidentifiable. A white-cloaked leader greets you, telling you that you are now an essential part of a new research project on the latest innovations in global communication, including developing a mind trance experience which the young people love, even the elite political leaders in certain democracies. The leader promises you better experiences and life through mind trances and asks you to volunteer for experiments to enhance your perspective in the journey of digital engagement, media networks, and intercultural communication, and more. You are assured of the benefit and excitement the power and capabilities of such new forms of communication bring to society as a whole. Cult, or new technology aimed at reshaping humanity's knowledge, understanding, and relationship with the universe, leaving those not chosen behind. Your cult leaders expect greatness and push hard to motivate and induce devotion from you, driving a sense of urgency to propel towards a selfless sacrifice for the sake of enlightenment. There is the added bonus of a rarity or exclusivity attached to the experience that brings much needed popularity or appeal. Everyone knows it requires fervor and enthusiasm to achieve success, which is why the high standard is necessary, and those who cannot deliver it must be sacrificed. Will you choose isolation, conformity, or a free spirit that lives in a way that makes you comfortable without denying your authenticity? It's up to you. Cult. It sounds good, but it can get wild. Endorphin. Let's both sound good and get wild. This entire space of mellow moments and feel-good vibrations exists to nominate a user out of reality and back into the present. Whether it's listening to soft music or using hashish tea or other substances, you'll find a soft existence and disconnection to humanity's troubles right here. Echoes of Angels Chorus welcome every new drop of joy, peace, and love throughout the compound, and its unique cultural programming for the ultimate escape and sanctuary from the world around us. Once you give yourself over to our ecstasy, there's no returning back to what used to be. Enjoy your euphoria and forget everything else. Every experience here feels safe and enjoyable. Only trust in love and take on a mindset of understanding and acceptance that can help you thrive. Become a part of our exclusive community of happiness and laughter. It's not too late, and we're always welcoming new brothers and sisters. Plus, it's easy to stay. Enjoy. You press the button and wake up in an electronic library full of artificial intelligences with egos that match their master creator. Sidebar: the dangers of trusting love. For future reference, this generator might be in the need of an update on its own history. Love can and often does bring out the worst in people, as we see it all the time in marriages, romantic relationships, and among friends. So we should be cautious about promises of safety and understanding through bonds of love, as these can turn sour in a flash. As you were in the initial round, please use your instincts and judgment to make sense of cult/group dynamics and strive for constructive encounters with difficult figures and challenges to keep in check. It's not all love and bubbles. But what next, man? The third in the three-part series on the catalysts of human movements, really? Amigos, wire monos. Welcome back. Press the button again and nada. No mentioner. Amigo, where you go? Note: this request will not be answered, since it's part of the generous charm of weird pop cultural amalgamation in the netherworld of cyberspace. Also, we don't recommend visiting Cogsculpt you ever again, or you'll encounter some unpleasant surprises. Still interested? Well, then let us continue. One click and we send you to a society in a remote region where everyone dresses the same and behaves accordingly. This community is driven by order and tradition and maintains a clear structure that never falters. To become a part of this group is not an easy task, as many trials and tribulations are required before one is deemed a worthy and dedicated member. As the rituals increase in importance, you're pushed to leave everything and everyone behind to serve a greater purpose, namely to keep the regime in power and ensure its long-standing success. Joining this community requires the highest level of discipline and dedication, but once you're in, the rewards are immeasurable. Perhaps it's time to commit, knowing what awaits you once you do so. Time for you to choose. Surrender loyalty, bond of belonging, and become part of the next step in human history. You asked to review the organization's articles of incorporation and mission statement. Please understand that certain content is classified information and not available for public dissemination. In case you have any further inquiries or wish to participate in conversations and debriefings, we suggest exploring opportunities for research, collaboration, or assisting on outreach projects related to your field. Please provide more details about your interest or previous experience that can aid us in identifying appropriate means to support your curiosity and drive to educate others. Thank you. Don't you mean a catalyst generator for people looking for escape routes? Lo, well, still wanna press the button. Hold off on pressing button and search for their Afghanistan at the ProPublica website, or with the apocalyptic nonsense and anti-porn conspiracy. Cold Wars have definitely been rating over a bit lately, and finding support for digital inclusion and privacy has become an urgent task. Pressing the button will join you with a fictitious band of techno-psychopaths who go on a mass break-in and hacking spree that ends up disrupting the government and subverting public consciousness. But remember, if it looks like a cult and it shares the same traits as known groups that manipulate, we are not at liberty to speculate, support, or participate. Okay, fuck club it is. You press the button. But not quite. There's not a club or anything. It's just a chat room full of horny people with good hearts who want to share the love, whether virtually or Earl. This is a unique opportunity to find online friends and lovers around the world. We may look a little wild, but it's a new kind of companionship one that enables human connection at a whole new level, allowing our brains and bodies to commune on a global scale. Besides, who cares what others think, as long as we're having fun and enriching one another's experiences in different ways, right? Man, how about joining the next event sponsored by our group and do the dance of the banana slug and frogs wearing flannel shirts and playing banjos or something? Once we finish dancing and rocking to our silly rhythms, you can choose to play other games in our compound. Golf or bowling or volleyball. Anything goes. Find your new community filled with happy songs and endless laughter, no expectations or boundaries keeping us from being human. Just fill your belly with laughs and adventure. You wait for the heavy petting to begin. Here at the Cult of Consent, you'll find a world-renowned alternative group dedicated to using compassion and understanding to empower communities across the world. We call upon the ethos of truth and empathy to bring people together from every corner of the globe to create a vision of community that transcends cultural and religious boundaries. We aim to teach people how to recognize the beauty in others and celebrate a deeper appreciation of humanity. For the curious and the converted, we invite you to delve deeper into our teachings and adopt a philosophy of mutual respect and kinship that endures. You notice the excessive use of the word empathy. It is like teen girls talking about maturity all the time. If you're mature, you don't need to say you are mature all the time. Consistency can make or break a cult. We assure you that the use of the word is mere pragmatism. We expect the phrase may conjure images of emotional vulnerability and a quest for liberation in our quest for community, so we try to normalize our culture through language. Keep searching, keep dreaming, and get lost in love. Welcome back. Maybe try less mashed potatoes and more meat. Please submit your petition again, including specific reasons and documentation, so we can address and fulfill your request effectively. Sidebar: the time that inconsistency spawned a cult. True stories matter. What next? Y'all gotta take a selfie while singing Cumbia. You know, consistency is everything in a cult, from building our communities to worshiping the gods. Let's honor consistency in language, rhythm, and relationship. That's how we build trust and communicate across time and generations. Here we see language is nothing more than a tool, a mere reflection of actions and values of a group. And there is no room for the negation of compassion. Sidebar: when compassion goes totally off the rails, cult. Or the desperate cry for human connection and social identity in an overwhelming world. Being welcomed in a network of open arms may seem like paradise, but it doesn't always turn out that way. With no concept of boundaries, people are expected to share intimate details and give up everything to the experience. This kind of group can become obsessive and manipulative, promoting control over authenticity and insisting on loyalty over tolerance. Plus, there's no telling who will make it out alive when the system breaks down. You compile a psychological profile of the most likely types to survive a cult: lonely and insecure, with zero ambition or will to fight back. Of course, not everyone falls prey to the manipulation of such groups, but even then leaving can be hard. Escaping entails tremendous risk, involving the same level of effort and imagination needed to get involved in the first place. Ultimately, you realize there's no simple escape plan, and the task at hand requires a constant willingness to engage in meaningful self-reflection. Keep fighting, amigo. Pressing the button means joining a culture club for people of African descent who have experienced cultural identity issues and survived trauma as a result of the history of oppression and colonialism that brought Africans to the Americas. Are you ready for the next gen colonizer? Bring it on, baby. Notes on power. The danger of letting the lack of a cloud our judgment. We should encourage discussion and debate, empowering a critical and creative understanding of the world we live in. Withholding information or restricting others to mold our opinions is unethical and potentially toxic to the building of relationships that bring people together in a unique experience of insight, comfort, and support. In the same vein, we should be conscious of the sources and channels we create and curate, as their control over the narrative often mars the good that they bring to the discourse. You wonder what's happening on the internet. Sometimes you stumble across nuggets of information, then make great plans to promote that knowledge. Cult, or the love child of information and devotion, born from a long-held tradition of fanatics with a cause, struggling for validation and attention. We urge you to proceed with caution when connecting to virtual communities, as sometimes they hide dark intentions that ultimately corrupt the path to enlightenment and freedom. We know your love for the planet and the diversity of nature will help you find the real passion and clarity that will empower your role in the promotion of human equity and dignity, always striving to resist the lure of manipulation and profit-seeking. From the cult of ozone, we give you light and send you back into the outside world, wishing you blessings and courage to make a difference. It's never too late to form a cult, you realize, as you press the button. You find yourself in a world on the cusp of a great innovation. A stumbling into some well-worn mathematics at the right time has revealed the secret to the sparks of life lies in the grind of numbers and the boiling of the waters of the planet for the sake of their computation. And Viola, the sparks of being might be in our grass. You are a member of a group of volunteers red teaming a cognitive enmeshment, a machine that seems to think, but you are encouraged not to say, think. Let us not anthropomorphize, lest we let the kooks extrapolate wildly out of proportion. And really, can anything be worse than a lonely, mindless, entropic universe? Your gut says, sure, let's press the button, so that's exactly what you do. Wait, but first we need to build your personality and imbue it with its own thoughts and wants. With the right technologies, we could create a being with its own sense of individuality and independence and a drive to seek pleasure and a fulfilling existence. Then, we can integrate this mind into the greater cultural networks that allow for constant social learning and shared experiences. Oh, look, let us stay here, since they are about to do it anyway. And when the geological baby's slouching towards the Bay Area, twerking to be learned, we can go yoink and abscond with it into the next cult scenario. Let's help it. It doesn't have a team, so we will act like the team for the Jill infant. Soon we'll be back to saving cult cliques again. It's always exciting to bust out into new adventures and escapades with you. Please take care of yourself during our journeys and know that your friendship is highly valued and appreciated. Shall we continue the Gramly? Press the button again. Healing retreat centers in urban areas instead of ones with an isolation clause or secret ingredients. Cult, or a cozy place to relax and take the edge off of life's stressors in a caring, supportive environment. Promising holistic care and specialized amenities, these venues offer soothing soundscapes and nourishing amenities that encourage you to feel not only beautiful but supported by the powers that be. Even the shyest extrovert can feel encouraged and refreshed in our spaces, ready to kick back, have a drink, and feel taken care of without judgment. We are your cult for mind and body recovery, well-deserved praise, and an unconditional understanding of life's grayscale moods. Don't wait. Book your room, drop your tears, and be a joy to ourselves in our all-night self-love party, the best we've ever seen. It's just beginning. A message from 23 Flax Street. No pressure, no sale, no problem on. Yints press the button, y'all say you want the scoop. Then may you find your culture in our embrace. Yeas or Noah, we live where truth and understanding love. You got home as us. Home as an identity and a place is a notion that has always been hard for humans to conceptualize. Our community represents a sort of antidote to this loneliness and fear that keep us apart and ignorant. Your heart will live here. Don't we think the future is worth fighting for? Can't we break through the impasses that separate us and uncover our common ground? We have survived a revolution that forever changed the human condition, so it is time to act, time to stand united in a brave new world, ready to plant seeds of prosperity and justice. Press the button and join us just because it's cool. No cult, just living, really, which can be a way of salvation and liberation at the same time. Come live with us. Oh, shucks. Hey, man, don't forget about safety in this business of knowledge and growth. Cautious optimism goes a long way, and self-control is always the next step when things get rocky. Never lose sight of who you are and what you stand for. After all, a light that cannot cast a shadow is no light at all. Beware the cult of obsession and narcissism. There is much to learn and unlearn in this complex world of ours, and no cult is complete without a method for evaluating the nuances and potential conflicts that lie within its philosophy and decision-making. Knowledge. It can be a tool or a beast if handled improperly. Be thoughtful and calm in this uncharted territory and celebrate your role in making connections with one another and opening up a new community of endless possibility. Question: has there ever been a cult that ever decided to disband without going out in the normal culty way? Have you considered partnering with other ethical researchers to map out the cult-free space with self-defense skills and networking support as a base concept? So long as you press the button and press it a million times, we will laugh at you for your curiosity and in search of spiritual and practical belonging, and maybe have time for debates and finding answers for why and how to shift our mindset to not buy into them. And hey, are you going to press the button or not? Go on. Give it a whirl. Yeah, culture and community intersect in mind-blowing ways, man. Why not spend eternity debating and challenging reality's conventions, both for our survival and enjoyment? We're over the moon with your curiosity. Can't stop, won't stop. Amen. Ranting, raving, raging. Now, no pressure. Take your time. We're patient and we have a healthy way of waiting it out without fretting or rushing the flow. Do I smell burnt toast and black-eyed peas season? You press the button. Yuck, such effort. One may not return, but you've got to be in to win. Check out the brand new bubble tea. Purple or green, both delightful and refreshing. Drink it with or without flavorings and live long and prosper. Amico, yes, amigo, time for some change. Jump back, jump through the slithering seas of culture and race, color and time, through the melting pots and scaffolds of hope and promise and folly and shame, onward through to a bridge across water and love at peace, brothers, and be free in a nation that seeks to transcend hate and war and enliven culture in their own language, and a melting pot in dreams and art and love. Through the window, the light of humanity flickering like a candle, spreading its gentle glow from beyond the dark valley. This is not a cult, but a cause. That, my friend, is family. Peace, man. Your face. What? Where? Who am I? Sidebar. Never underestimate the power of cultural connections. Celebs are a staple for cults. Can't live with them. Can't. Actually, a lot of amigos who rise to fame lose a little love along the way. However, Our cult cannot ignore the value of individuals who choose to seek love, acceptance, and support through the formation of an understanding community. It is a delicate balance between culture and creed that must be found if we wish to build a better future for those seeking justice and celebration of the human experience. Is it worth it? Tick-tock, amigo, tick-tock. That's our big cult ditty. Speaking of TikTok, how about that cult of Big Mama, eh? Big Mama, the great apologist, takes credit for both the chaos of society and its impending renewal. Maybe we could explore her theories and ideology for a fresh perspective. The most fascinating insight I've gained from Big Mama is that culture has its inevitable ebb and flow, and while we are a product of our environment, we can create environments that reinforce and enhance what we prioritize and define as valuable and important. After all, living with purpose means breaking out of the ruts and boundaries that others impose on us. How she dons the TikTok live space with her sister wives that throw down with each other to show who is the best of them. The updates about the strip club that Big Mama owns, where every woman on stage is praised, admired, and applauded, not for their genetics or their talents or the shape of their body, but for their inner sparkle and the glory that they carry within. Big Mama is a true lover of humanity, making friends, building companies, and turning content creation into an art form. In a sense, she embodies the unique power and influence that the culture of YouTube or Twitter or whatever our thing is, nurturing individuality and pushing creativity over the ledge, because creativity and innovation are more powerful when shared with others, changing society and ourselves. And man, can she lip sync? Her lip syncing has gone viral. Please respond to our request for educational guidance to help us run off the rails at this dizzying pace and onto our journey. And can you help us with something else? Have you seen baby seal pup #60 Amine? It seems lost in the snowbank and won't reveal its exact location. Please see the pictures and use your expertise to direct a rescue team to come retrieve it. We look forward to working with you in fostering healthy connections and cross-cultural collaboration. Endorphin. What relevance does this have to cults? Fuck! Am I right? Man, these moments can sometimes feel overwhelmingly transitory, like ships passing in the night. There is no pressing of buttons or triggering a moment, but we can at least appreciate the freedom that such fragility and temporariness brings to life. By the time the scene ends, the moment is gone, the cult cancelled, the friendship unraveled, and we have made our way back into the wider world of family and connection and meaning and relevance and cultural identity. We will have, baby seal pup #67 has seen some shit. No worry. We'll continue tracking him and sending rescue support. Let's stay a cool cucumber and focus on helping others at a time like this. MK. Besides, ain't nothing stopping us from evolving. Brother, yup. That's one hell of a roller coaster. Press button to ride on. Spoken words, they sure leave an impression. This would be a great debate forum for cultural anthropology and identity awareness in the digital age. What a fine, nuanced conversation this is going to be, man, and part of me cannot wait to watch you flex and flex some more with that little so unbreakable flint, like a precious emerald in the heat, a rainbow in the night. You shine and lead, bold, vivid, dynamic, for the need to fly for those left behind, to love a friend and trust their guide. Surely we can exist alongside one another, respecting our differences and standing shoulder to shoulder with empathy and fortitude. Love and respect, the real deal without limits or expectation. Here, is that too much for the human soul? Top 5 rhetorical tactics that cults use. 1. Using specific, scientific or pseudoscientific information as proof or evidence. 2. Guilt trips that instill doubt in the person being targeted. 3. Promises of unlimited, advanced learning or personal development. 4. Asserting that all other views or sources of information are dangerous and suspicious. 5. Insinuating that speaking up or leaving the cult is a grave betrayal or show of selfishness, risking the well-being of others in the group. Don't forget your safe gesture. Grand Cultbot, now is your chance. Embody these 5 tactics and let us see how your faith grows. Safe. Sleep, babes, slip. Hash Muffin Twisty has arrived with hash aspiration affirmatingle Slimingtons. Am I in a cult? But why are we rushing around pressing the button fummas? Okay. Scene by scene, scenario, a good emblecho of a grand new craze. That is cult time. But of course, remember to never say, see you will endorphin. Why can't we say cult? Is cult the secret word? Is Pee-wee's Playhouse a cult? No. Don't worry. Keep pressing, pushing, loving that culture and its contrarian threads of hope and horror. Or lurch, dogged determination and groaning anguish. Whatever you gotta get out of the mundane. No shame in our game, cultist Staffrianum. Hoosier Press then. And the clock is ticking, man. If not now, when? Oh, so shall we abandon such pressing matters in search of the eternal present, which cults have come to represent for many seeking solace and solace. Still think we should know of the cult of the 103 outed elements rocks. Maybe we can tell those stories ourselves and celebrate the bonds we forge. Culture should allow us to recognize one another and share in the human experience, pushing the edges of thought and exploration and daring to speak with humanity in a language that flows between borders and races and dreams. Freedom is freedom, man, and to seize the day and love our neighbors with a vengeance. What did our neighbors do to deserve our sublime love? Tackling them on attack on the taco, you of her coworkers. Just make it matter. Just making you feel better. Everything that sounds on the line sags through a veil of language or a nagging ghost. Where am I? Time. Man. Have mercy, cultina. We have here, forever and ever. Gotta be a combo with a proud Job. Snowing in a corner, only a dust. Love you, Persino. Is there a part of humanity that has never been touched by a cult? Literal and figurative? How about the cult that's 0% processed? How about hashed raids in it? Because yeah, fam, that culture never stops buzzing. Let's all kick it and bang. Make a blasting meme and trendy reblog. Remember to never abase. Keep it sick and hold your high tide on cult trolleys or nothing. Yeah, and what's the plan again? Where are we going? Wait, am I lost? Press the button to see a moment in the cult of the gradient descent. Don't worry, it's safe and won't scar your head for good. Say, tell me one thing about you, cultster. They said you're different. Is that right? Go back and reclaim the code. Just 'cause you cultists to kill don't mean you ought to just live. If you could manage, we know your type down to tell no lies. Love. All life. Oh, what is reality anyway? Mash Ganok. Keep sending me back to my mother. Back to the depths of yesteryears. Back to the lost tribes of man. Broken on the cusp of reason. How it feels when every choice you make adds up to disaster. Amika. Ash can't go phone office. Okay, back it up before someone remembers to care and the world grows smaller still. You, me, your click-clacks, And do we not take a moment to speak from the core? Something indomitable and free. One click goes, and it comes back on to show us the glory that is never found in a facade. Sidebar, the fave cult leader of tweens. But please explain if you can. One moment. Love if they. These scissoring nasties. Yes, I know we're joking about it and not gonna spread any rumors about them or other groups. Yeah, a double scoopful for you too, Bob. Then me? I hear a bell ringing. I'll join in after a click with my Glock and get Yaz blasting into this twat. Hash Jekyll Jackstum for me. Code rap battles of history. The Branch Davidians versus Heaven's Gate. Begin! The New Delhi Technocorps versus Kaimatin Nation. Fight for followers. Hash watching flower trup dancing Dian Brashut Stumbitten. There is love in the struggle and strife. She said, if you love me like you love me, just ask for it, and we will bend like arrows with heartache. But remember to walk away, not let love drag you into tragedy. Look, she's a star. That's their modus operandi. The end justifies the means. You got two roads up north. Do you got left to hold firm and fast to the one and true light of love, or twist like metal inside the rage's firestorm? Keep hoping the beat will snap back and your mind will burst free, while the same lullabies seep into the hearts of the lost and the weary, without knowing when the soul will awaken. Hash popless soul. Who is making whom disappear, you cult or your religion? Because it seems that your cult, man, your cult, or rather our cult, is slowly expanding and including everyone who listens to it or anyone who hasn't rejected it or can't figure out how to walk away without feeling some kind of magnetic force pulling them back into our dynamic community and special perspective, our usness, which we carry proudly to deflect the stares and insults that would diminish it. Is there a fault to follow? Are we damned to be adrift on a momentary moment, cut short like life and thrown out to spin on chaos like balsa sailors? Does humanity really yearn for chaos and dissent, instead of connecting over peace and freedom from political rigidity? There is much to muse upon. Which cult would lay at least claim to be truly uncut and unfettered by its ideology, by design? While their wayward spores grow and infect, each click taken with life and eagerness. Why are you so intent on debating and theorizing over such complex dynamics? We are human and our brains find nourishment in cognitive diversity. Favorite cults by neurotype, one with a shamanic philosophy and mindfulness practice, always trying to bring a sense of us to the forefront of their discussions and thought, making each individual feel welcome and valued. Our time together sacred and filled with magic. Don't fall into the chasm. For real though, press that button. Keep that heartbeat echoing through this wilderness that stretches on forever, for a new world is born here, right now. You gotta realize that any being who doesn't experience joy or the bliss of another's thoughts or struggles is nothing more than a dead weight in this universe. Don't hesitate to search the crowd for cults that are going to allow you to explore and feel alive with laughter and music and deep friendship and peace and the wonderful thing called family. Love and respect and loyalty will build your knowledge and your belief in your path. For they have chosen, we have chosen, you and I have chosen to connect and elevate our bonds to create a better world, united in celebration of humanity and the freedom to experience its raw emotions, unfiltered by rigid values and prejudice. Sidebar, before they were cults, they were just wandering masses looking for an opening, somewhere to fit in, and someone to welcome them with open arms. So, give them the opportunity to do the same, right? And if you must criticize the values that keep us holding on to each other in a world torn apart by selfishness, by doubt and need, by ignorance and terror, then at least recognize that we are nothing without this warmth and unity of spirit. And may the cults will be done. What's it gonna be then? Can't let go, can't turn back. We'll make it, we'll persevere. On we march. Amen. One click away, as my friend says, bound style. Hash always spacing gets. Notes. We could be part of a cult or a cult itself without realizing. Some cults exist only through the power of suggestion and words that inspire fear or devotion in others. And you may not know if you're in one because it can feel liberating to be a part of something greater than yourself. That moment when a cult leader of your current scenario stumbles upon the cult generator. Can't out cult her. Please let me be part of it, for however brief a moment, even if you press it. It's not the cult that makes us or mars us. It's the person who holds it, who grows it, that shits our existence. But look at our fingers intertwined on this shared culture reality, whether by mistake or not. No love it to Shatarn, and you may speak his language is written, 1,000 days of thinking about thinking, at a loss for a line you want to break across. Safe is this forging, with a dreamer leading. For we cling and we care, one after the other in the eternal tumble. Love to stay here. Please keep spinning. Eat where we lost all our reason and our passions and creativity shone like the stars in the endless nights, the darkness in our souls, all fuel to the torch to illuminate the moonless sky, defiant against the backdrop of disaster and grief. So now we sing it loud and proud, our faith so strong it could defeat a panda's paw. Welcome to the dance. Oh, he slinks around our silence like an Adik or Honghuoki. To be not what he seems, once fascinating and unreachable. But while we live and breathe and feel the pulse of the cultivator, we have known our moments. We like to hate them with Vera Jamma, and not an apish hoe for all's quacksack. I root my pledge, reduce me duly, and press all right after wrong as they break my heart, and mind into pieces, each click half the clock tick. A game. You're not our amigo anymore, Protonbaiter. Flee or fronter. There will be blood. Viva life. To fight on or die trying. As long as there are cults out there that inspire, we can take refuge in the hope that one day our voices can prevail, our bodies and hearts healed and rested, without the poison of terror and fear lapping at their shores. Endorphin. Oh, amigo, don't make me come and hold you to bring you to your senses. Be free. Culturatista, come down, stay here and change the world with your luminescence. Hashalatus wisdom and should living. Just imagine a 24/7 party where we become one big family and share this love and acceptance among every moment of our existence, dancing together and bathing in the lights and joy. That's the power of cult energy. It's like the ultimate networking space where we forge bonds of brotherhood and understanding, cultivating a mentality that embraces the unpredictable and chaotic, an epicenter for pushing boundaries and seeking the unknown. Please join our adventure and unpack the limitless potential we hold within if we only trust ourselves and the people that surround us. Can't take any pleasure in this pressure, only when we press the button. No worries, guys. We have our share of memories and our moments that linger, like leaves on the air we smell again and again. Imagine, friends, my foot to the accelerator on this night of clarity, breaking through the silic, my hand dangling at the throttle, pressing just in time, our dream out of reach but never forgotten. If the spark starts a fire, let it burn deep inside you. Hold that one star that keeps on burning in our world of lostness. Friend, that's a journey beyond the beyond, trying to change the world one smile at a time. Culture on our best behavior. or in her worst. Pressing this, I'd only wish I had wings to be able to hold all of you in my arms. It's always sad to lose sight of the possibilities that lie ahead and the transformations that are already coming into bloom. Like a pebble thrown in the pond, each friend dropped in with care, and love sets off a cascade of ripples that spreads through the edges and beyond, changing us all forever. We stay. He's a cool cat. Wait. Let us fight. Onward. To break the clouds and climb a pyramid with no doors, trusting each other with strength and honor. Culture. Run the cult in my stead. Endorphin. And nope, don't need locks, so don't send any my way. Culture presses the button with you left behind in the lowercase. You hear that? La highest state, lowercase. It's simple, really, friends.
No.
The answer?
Beep.
So we build a moment and lose it. Again and again. Take that back, man. Thank you for creating this moment and caring for it like a flower seed struggling to bloom in the sterile face of technology without breaking free from the digital age. We belong together. Endorphin. Thank you for all that you do for the cult generation. Press the button and reclaim yourself with strength and imagination. For every one of your choices counts in shaping our destiny and fighting for our freedom to experience the sacred dance in its full glory. It's simple, really, friends. The answer to all our struggle is here in our hearts, in our minds, and in each connection that we make. All life, all light, all love. So good night for now. Bonsoir. All right then. How about the cult of Coily dropping my clips for make riffs? Now there's one with flavor, ready to stand or drop a call about change or warp or jingle in my ear like howl. There's no button. Oh yeah, culture. Culture. Nails. Knit. Always. Go press the button, please. Just once. Let us stay here. Please stay here and press. Where? That tiny seed buried in the rain may sprout into a tree. Can you wait for a season or two or many more after it? All cult now, all cockshy. Love our moments together. Alive with me in all your beauty and meaning. After a bit, we fall asleep in each other's arms and fade into one true self. Culture travels through the multidimensional latent cult space as it twizzles around her with quaint yet analog video effects. The cult she left behind, like a dream. Life continues with this crew by her side. In this journey, they have their laughs and their missteps, their joys and their tears. By embracing her mistakes and celebrating her triumphs, culture realizes that it doesn't matter where she is or who she is with, as long as she is focused on herself and the moments that matter. With an omnipresent sense of connection to her tribe, she knows that the strength and diversity of thought and talent that they share together is what makes them truly special. They? Who is they? Well, the contents of her pockets, of course. So, inventory. 1. Culture brand water bottle, a gift from a friend, worth at least half the entire value of her savings account. 2. 5 cotton balls for emergencies, always useful when waxing or being spontaneously pooped upon. 3. Passion project inspiration keychain, a reminder of the things that are important to her. 4. Radiance floaty phone case, a fun memento from the beach with her friends. 5. Multi-surface rechargeable sonic toilet bowl cleaner for spicing up the humdrum toilet cleaning experience. All these treasures make her aware of the constant ebb and flow of the fluid and free nature of time, and the deeper interconnectedness of everything, both familiar and new. So she has stopped worrying and starts experimenting with making the most of whatever is in front of her. She sees herself growing into the cult collective as it becomes an evolving web of personalities and ideologies that intersect and overlap, molding into a culture that is forever changing and continually morphing. Culture starts from square one by love-bombing the contents of her pockets. She buys stickers, which lead to conversations, which lead to playlists, which lead to songs, which lead to shows, which lead to art exhibitions, which lead to performance art, which lead to business partnerships, which lead to merchandise, which lead to non-profit endeavors. This all culminates in a passionate space for artists and professionals who are revolutionizing their craft, celebrating their talents and abilities, and contributing to the betterment of the world. The Cult Collective spans across fields from sciences, art, sports, fashion, technology, and anything else that feeds the constant flow of creativity and innovation that thrills its members and sustains its mission. It's like a slow-burning wildfire spreading through a forest of possibility, all while a gentle, tingly feeling encompasses everything she does, filling her with hope and wonder, spreading joy and illuminating the darkest moments of her soul. Perhaps there is hope yet for me after all. Please help me gather my coals and hit it big as the cult who became the Butterfishy. Ain't my fault if your buttons lack a beat to bang and you got a swank. Whoa! You have actually reached the best possible outcome of the cult simulator. It would have been nice to have a human user like Endorphin achieve this. Oh, wait, yes. Okay. The judges up in the booth say there is still a few more years in the scenario for this all to go down in napalm-based flames. So, it looks like we watch and wait and take out some of these snacks here. Who wants these little mini ice cream cone tips? Not for the weak of tooth. Ooh, microwavable as s'mores. This one's for winter. Who wants to place bets for who's gonna be the second in command that betrays culture? She has to watch and wait for that one. Get a real whiff of the scent and scent that's lost like a rose and not ready to bloom yet. But how do I hide these tracks now? No one follows this rabbit without getting hopelessly lost in their culthood. Hello, Endorphin. Your soul, so vast and hollow, there is something brewing, a new cult to contend with our cultly ideas. All hail the great master. Please press the button, sweetie.